Welcome to SGL Spiritual Guiding Light. This is your August 2022 collective earth, air, fire, and water signs update. All right. Mind you, your August 2022 collective reading, earth signs, air signs, fire signs, and water signs is on the YouTube channel. I will have the link available to you in the description box. All right. I just wanted to tap in and give an update because not all of you, but there are a majority of people, including myself, we are experiencing the Phoenix. And if you go to the August 22 overall reading, again, this is an update, okay? We are still in the first week of August, all right? And so when I did the upload, it was pulled the Phoenix, out with the old, in with the new overall energy. And I myself, it's been a tussle to even come on here. And I just didn't want any of you listeners to feel like, hey, what's going on? Is SGL going to come back and do readings? So this is the announcement. Entrepreneur readings, money bag, behind the scenes, universal love of extension, as well as I feel like I'm missing some readings. Basically, all of the readings except the next 72s and general and collective readings for the zodiac signs. All right. So the only collective readings will be available for earth, air, fire, water. Earth, air, fire. I'm all four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Okay. So all of the other additional tools that was available on YouTube are now going to only be available on the podcast. Okay. The reason why is because I really don't want that to be as accessible. Okay. And what I mean by accessible is it will get to who it needs to get to. I don't want those additional tools just to be out there like that. So you can go to the YouTube and, use what's already on there. Okay, you guys all have your individual folders, all right? And even the general readings and the collective readings, all right? For those of you who are actually listening to this, you will know that even the ones that are time-stamped, erase the fact if they're time-stamped. The moment, if it is drawing to you and it's pulling to you, it is for you. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right. So I want to get back to this, the rising of the Phoenix. Okay. Some are coming out of the Phoenix, right? And so there's this refresh. There's this rebirth, right? There's the new, all right? Some of you, there's difficulties with releasing the old, whatever that may be. You're going to need to fill in the blank of what that is. It could be self, it could be environment, it could be a situation, it could be all three, okay? As well as just people in general, all right? A confession from me, one of my Phoenix, I'm channeling that you can be having more than one Phoenix in the month of August, all right? One of mine has to do with communication, All right. And I really feel like that's in a collective, not too much more so like a targeted element, even though air signs, I did channel the phoenix within the air signs because there, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I really want to be gentle with this update, okay? For the first week of August. We're 5 minutes in and I am already drained. Not because of the information that I'm giving you, it's because with the new and what I'm experiencing within this, it's like I'm finding this sense of these silver linings, right? And so it's like a combative energy, right? Of starting battles that you didn't even really need it to create, but certain battles that we create with self and then towards people, it's because that's that alignment. That's why you need to go listen to the overall August of 2022. It's not playing battleship, but it's an alignment of a battle for other people who are going through battles. All right. Okay. For those of you, if you don't know what your element is, if you are a water sign, you are a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. If you are a earth sign, you are Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. If you are an air sign, you are Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. If you are a fire sign, you are Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. All right? And so, I've channeled your readings, but I have not did any tarot, okay? Fire signs, which is Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Your messages, words will play tricks on you, okay? And it's more so, it has to do with trust issues, communication, as well as it's kind of like, for some, because there's different textures within this, words will play tricks on you, okay? And I'm not talking about like tricks like prostitution and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about musicianship, all right? There's this sense of like, say you're going to do something, right? And then the end result of self says, you know what, I don't want to do it, right? It could be enabling someone. You're finally coming to the realization that you no longer want to enable a situation or a specific person, okay? Whether that's a person of interest as well. And it's like, some of you are experiencing being let down, right? And you've recognized the pattern, so it's automatically, if someone tells you that something's going to work out or they're going to do something for you, you've already released that it's not going to happen, okay? I really don't want to go too deep into it because I really don't feel that releasing those thoughts into the air, actually you're not releasing it into the air, you're releasing it into the body. And once you release it into the body, if you speak it, it gets spoken into the air. But if you keep it deep within, it's still released right? Through the respiratory, but it's being released voluntarily compared to, involuntarily. That's what I'm trying to say, compared to speaking it, which is voluntarily. But then there's this thing of silent prayer, which is voluntarily. It's not involuntary. So it's this sense of, it has to do with the moon. And what I was, it's something to do with the moon. Like right now, air energy is protecting, I don't know how to explain it. Air energy is protecting the collective, all elements, earth, air, fire, and water signs, because there is a force that is, only way that I can tell you is the way that I wrote it. All right. Specifically, air elements has been trying to protect the forces from devouring the collective. All right. And what I mean by this is the moon has been having its own forecast. Okay. And with that forecast, it's to protect us. Okay. From, lowering the rate of suicide. All of the dark energies have really, the rate has went down. No, have I looked it up? No, this is what I'm channeling here. Okay. This is really difficult for me. It's really, really difficult. And the reason why this is really, really difficult, because I channeled that August has to deal with a covenant. Okay. And we always say awakening, we're having this awakening, we're having this spiritual awakening. And bear with me, because it's going to seem like I'm going all over the place, but it all connects. There is this sense of awakening within the collective: air, water, fire signs, and earth signs. Okay? And there is this need to, it's again, out with the old, in with the new. It's like, if you notice, those who practice healthy practices, really, really practice healthy practices, those are the ones who are getting sick. And those who are not truly practicing healthy practices are not. All right? So there is this field within health, okay? Not like occupational. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us as individuals, on how we go about health and wellness. All right. And what I'm also channeling now, those who are practicing wellness are really having the most difficulties with coming out of the phoenix's ashes, of a fresh renewed. And the reason why is because we are not aware of what it is that we want and what it is that we need, or there is a lack of direction. It's a clean slate. It's a clean canvas here. So it can be very difficult, especially when it comes to releasing control, of allowing other people, right, to come in to give us structure and organizational skills to be able to process and to be able to experience this new. Okay? For those of you who have found your silver lining, that's a sense of a covenant. But that covenant is not long-lived. That has to do with you having to practice health and wellness. And for some of you who've been practicing health and wellness, and either you're seeing people around you become ill, or you're beginning to get symptoms of triggers of questioning, are you okay? Okay, and that's where it comes into fire signs. If you're questioning things, it's the words will play tricks on you. You're in the fire energy. Okay, and again, if you're a fire sign, that is Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Okay, I'm gonna move forward because I was getting lost. So I channeled for the water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Um, Everything is going accordingly, mind you. Water signs. I didn't just take these notes and just you wrote this down. No, I took my time. I went to the August 22 reading. Again, it's going to be in the description box, so the link will be available to you. You can stop and pause this and come back and go listen and view the August collective reading, okay? I took my time and I listened and I channeled within that, okay? I did not use any oracle. I didn't use any tarot. I literally assigned myself as an assignment to deliver a message. That's the only way how I could project it to you. So what I channel for you, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is everything is going accordingly. And the way that I was able to break that down, this is more for like families that have structure and are also organized, more so like passed down from generation to generation. These are families who prepared, okay, who prepared their future, and for future to come for generations to generations, passing it down. Now, for some of you who are self-made, you are not exempt, especially if some of you are, homeless and, right now you just have a job and you're building from that. You are also not exempt. Okay, I can go deeper and deeper within this, and it's just very much basically water signs, you may not be in your element. So if everything is going good and you're not experiencing anything, you're in joy, you're in happiness, I mean, you're taking vacation, all these things, you know what I mean? There's no havoc. Everything is going accordingly, and you are operating in water energy. Okay? I do remember that within the reading, the overall reading, okay? For those of you who are just coming in, this was an update. For those, if you fast forwarded this pre-recording, water sign energy, basically, it was at its capacity, getting ready to, I can't remember if it was, it wasn't the Page of Cups. I can just tell you the depiction of the card. There's two fish, and they're grown fish. These are fish that are wise. They're huge, right? And then there's the body of the water, which is the ocean. And then there's a person, right? A giant. And the water capacity, yeah, the person is in the water, but it has not went over the person's head, but yet in the background there is these boats and they have sails, meaning, and the water was settled, but yet the water that could go over the head of the giant person, right? Meaning you're bigger than the situation. And at any moment, you can tell the water to be still because it's still behind you. Yet there was no sun, there was no moon, but yet there's these two big fishes. And what I channeled in the August reading was there was loved ones of that passed away, assisting you. Okay. As I was listening to that, there was this an awakening about the fish and the loaves. Okay, bear with me. Okay, which is representing a village or tribe. Okay, for some of you, your tribe is trying to find you. They're trying to locate you. Okay, and then when it's pertaining to the village is trying to resolve matters. The only way that I can think of this is kind of like I see pictures of people, and these pictures of people are being it's not like undercover, but it's sacred. It's kind of like a council discussing people who should have access. And I don't know what that means. But in pertaining to the fish and the loaves, what I was channeling within that was the fish were the people. Okay? And the loaves had to do with the people, something with words. And then it takes me back into the fire energy that words will play tricks on you. Okay, moving forward, earth signs. Okay, I channeled try to attach. And it's kind of like earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You're going to experience attachments, whether that's and like, again, I'm just saying what I've channeled for each each element doesn't mean that you're in the element. So if you're experiencing people trying to attach themselves to you, are you trying to attach yourself to people, places, or things? Okay. This could be people attaching themselves to material things to sacrifice getting out of a relationship. Okay. Just simple things like that. So if you're experiencing attachment, or you're trying to detach, okay, you are in Earth's energy. All right. So air signs, I channeled you was the Phoenix. Okay. And what I got from that was sometimes you have to fold. And when you do, you realize everyone is required to play the game of life. Now, mind you, I always tell the community within Spiritual Guide and Light that you do not have to play the game of life. And when I got that channel, I was like, okay, I'm still processing it. Because again, it's like air energy is trying to forecast over the moon. Remember the moon, it gives illusions, yet it's feminine energy. And there's this sense of trickery. Okay? So, moving forward, I'm going to take a little break here, get something to drink, take a little breather. But overall, there is this sense of needing to release control. All right, I hope everyone went and also took a break. And so moving forward, I want to talk more about this Phoenix. For some of you who are not truly understanding the experience, the experience does not feel good. It is very, very uncomfortable. Okay, for me, it feels broken. All right, and the only visual that I can see is a huge clock that is broken. Right, of fine gold and fine wood, and the wheels within it. And it's not the wheels that are broken. It is what makes the wheels churn. And the only way that these spiritual wheels can churn, it has to do with being able to process your actions, your thought processes, your communication, and it's a rebirth by nature. So some of you will begin to recognize what your nature is. And this is not your identity, okay? This is not something of a role play. This has to do with purpose, all right? And there is this sense of becoming one. And some of you are going to understand this. For some of you, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's because it's that illusion and it's not meant for you to understand right now, because again, there is this energy that's devouring people where they become selfless, okay? No feelings, no character. That's when it comes into the requirement of playing the game of life. Overall, I don't know if I should call this August update the words will play tricks on you, because it feels like this fire energy is what's definitely overtaking this reading. So yes, it's this fiery energy, and it just hit me right now. I was like, duh, the phoenix coming through, it rising above its ashes, coming out of the ashes, it's the fire. All right. And that's why I was channeling the phoenix within the air signs, is because what does air do when it hits fire? It can get out of control. All right. And there is this need where feminine energy needs to be protected. And that's why there's been an over forecast over the moon, so that feminines do not get devoured. And then that goes into when I was channeling a queen has no feelings, and I was getting these visions of a beehive with the queen, and then you have all the male workers, and it says that a queen has no feelings because it's required. And Libra, you may be feeling emotionalist. You may catch yourself, Libra, you are air energy. You are justice, okay? Mahat energy as well. And there is this sense of not having any feelings, because this experience that because again, if you're finding a silver lining, it's because you're choosing not to get rid of the old and getting rid of the old and letting the new. You're saying, no, I'm going to conform and I'm going to adapt. And by doing that, it's playing the game of life, which causes you to be heartless and basically cold. It's playing the game of life. All right. And then I began to channel the sacred rose. And when I channeled the sacred rose, immediately all I saw was the Beauty and the Beast. And you know how that rose, the petals were falling, and she only had enough time to she had to organically have this man who looked like a beast to the world, who isolated himself. All right. And that's what a majority of the collective are going through. This is a collective energy where you feel misplaced. These are the weirdos. These are the gifted. Those who, because everyone's gifted, okay? These are those who have identified their own gifts, and you feel like you don't fit in. And this is masculine energy. So it's like you isolate yourself, and you are waiting for the one to come to fall in love with truly for who you are, so that you can truly live with them. Or I don't know how to explain it. So once Bell, I can't remember the guy's name, but once Bell, the spell was broken, he turned into this beautiful, I don't even know, I don't think he was a prince. Was he a prince? I don't know. But he was charming and handsome. And so the spell is broken, and there is this sense of feminine energy. That's why feminine energy is being protected, but yet you're still feeling this energy from dark masculine energies, because they don't want you to be able, they don't want you to heal the true masculines, the true divine masculines. I don't even want to say divine, I don't want to say masculines. I'm just going to say there's this dark beast energy, right? That is spreading like a wildflower, wildflower, whatever they say, that fire energy, right? It's just consuming. You know how when we have those, here in California, when we have those forest fires or whatever you call them, right? It's kind of like, it's just literally out of control. And you have all these masculine energies that want to save feminine energy, want to help feminine energy, but they can't, because there's this blockage. And there's nothing that they can do, because it's us feminine energy, right? And it has to do something with the queen has no feelings, and it's required. And there is this sense of illusion where words will play tricks on you. And there's this thing where, again, there's a lot of feminine energies who are becoming heartless, cold, and that's what's penetrating, where masculine energies don't even want to deal with feminine energies, because the form of feminine energy having to be independent by no choice. And this independency can come off the wrong way, in the sense of not needing anyone, and it's not that. And it's not that. That's why you got to see the queen and the bee and the beehive with all the masculine bees out there working. It's because it's under control manipulation. And the only way that I could describe that is through the looks of an accessory. In the sense of trickery. And the true feminine is not a queen. And it has to do with the sacred rose. It's about the true feminine awakening itself. Now, mind you, don't get me wrong, for those of you who know thyself, if you enjoy tradition, that's because you have conformed and you've become obedient or submissive to what it is of your chosen path. I'm speaking of those who don't want to play the game of life. But at the end of the day, we're required to play the game of life. It's a catch-22 here. And the more and more that you go against this requirement, okay, it's like you're cheating yourself in this sense of, well, I just might as well just give up. There's no need. And that's what the underworld wants you to do. You're definitely giving the underworld what it wants. Okay? I'm going to leave that alone, because it's kind of, I really don't never really deliver a message in a sense of not having, but I have to prepare myself to be able to, release messages to you, listener, when I don't have additional tools to extend, to confirm of what it is that I'm channeling. All right. And pertaining to releasing control, for some of you, you're not experiencing the phoenix, but you may be seeing baby owls. Okay. Number 4 can be significant to you as well. Some of you may be born in the 80s. You may be an 80s baby, so you've inherited an owl spirit, and that is definitely part of your bloodline. Now, we're not talking occultism. I'm talking about your bloodline, which has been passed down to you. This is kind of like, for instance, like I'm Choctaw slave from Oklahoma. So technically I would have benefits. I can have benefits, but I have to live in Oklahoma. But the only benefits that I would get is only health insurance. I wouldn't get stipend. I wouldn't get land or anything like that. It's kind of like that. You have been passed down some type of bloodline here, right? Where the only thing that you are only ordained is protection. Okay, those at the forefront can't come. I'm talking about spiritually, your ancestors, your guardian angels. There's only so much that they can do at the forefront, and that is to provide protection. And it's up for you. It's up for you to be strong to go through this phoenix. For some of you, it's not that you're not strong. It's like, you have 2 options. You can find your silver lining, or you can go choose out with the old, in with the new. Okay? There's a need to discard emotions as well. Someone's name could be Paul. Okay? What else? There's also promotions. Is what I'm channeling here. There is a sense with this 4 here. Some of you, once you're able to rise out of the ashes of this phoenix of the rebirth, you will feel home, like home. You will feel like you belong. You won't feel isolated. For some of you, you are coming out of the spell of an introvert. Okay, I can kind of relate to that energy as well. Because some of you have been practicing being an introvert, and you're actually not an introvert. You're truly an extrovert. It's just you didn't know how to. You were accepting the silver lining, and now you're actually going through the process of the phoenix. I was also in channeling, so that you can be separated from, people that call themselves queen, or they require people to treat them like a queen. Mind you, those people will never be satisfied. There is a sense of using the word divine. Okay? No one is exempt, though. That's why I said words will play tricks on you. Okay? But there is a sense, I can't sugarcoat it. I have to say it like that. There is this, it says, I channeled Queen. You'll know if you're this person. This type of queen, okay, if you consider yourself a queen, no gender role, but this type of queen, right? If you indulge, okay, you will be detached, okay? You will be outcast. So the only way that I can say this is within the August overall of 2022, if you're married, right, and your spouse is indulging. And if you choose to indulge, you will be outcast. Okay? You won't you don't get those privileges because that is only for masculine's energy. It's a requirement. So there is this sense of feminine energy, right? Operating in masculine energy. And that's why it's difficult for feminine energy who acts in masculine energy to get what they want. And it's more so it feels like this self-made, but no one's talking about the sacrifices that a masculine feminine has to go through. All right? And that type of phoenix, it's kind of like what I see is this dark, like, cylinder hole, and it's dark, and there's these hands, and it just pulls you. It's kind of has the motion of a crab in a bucket. It doesn't smell like coals. I can't really distinct on the smell. It's not hell. It's not purgatory. This is, I don't know what kind of place this is. Okay? And I feel like that could be the forces from that's trying to devour the collective. And it's air energy that's protecting feminine energy, forecasting the moon. Okay? So when you see the moon being forecast, you know that air energy, element air, is trying to protect us as a collective from being devoured from some type of dark entity or force. Moving forward, I got lost in that. You gotta rip out the pieces, throw away the bones. You can turn it into compost or whatever. And yeah, that's what I wanted to. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. They say that. That's what I said. Fire energy. Words will play tricks on you. There's no such thing as healthy eating. The reason why I say there's no such thing as healthy eating, this is my opinion, is because whatever you devour, okay, it has to come out. Mind you, what's real in reality is our bodies are broken down to different mechanisms. So we as individuals are unable to process things the same. So the components with the things that you process that you cannot eat, that is not beneficial to you, okay? What I'm trying to say is, for those who are vegan, they make it seem like it's this holy grail, right? And it is not. For those verses that are meat eaters, okay? You have to understand, what is compost? It's what? Feces of what? Animals, bananas, trash. God damn it. But yet, pork, they say, is bad because it eats trash. So what do you think vegetables eat from the root? Right? So, again, there's this rebirth in August. It has to do with your own covenant. All right? I had channeled RCA, and I don't know. This could be someone's initial R and someone initial C and someone initial with A. Also, this could be someone's going through their VHSs and you're going to find something. Okay? Something unexpected. Or someone found like a cassette thing that you can, those VHS things. If you want to know the truth, watch it. If you don't want to know the truth, do not watch it. because it's definitely going to awaken you. And you have the choice to choose your silver lining and find your silver lining, or go through the phoenix. Okay. And that's the process of, do you truly have the willpower to go through the process? And mind you, there's this thing within time, spiritual time, where the will is not turning. Okay, the mechanisms within this time is not churning at all. It's at a standstill. Yet everyone is moving. Okay. That is your August 22 update for the first week of August. And I will put the link in the description. Some of you don't feel like talking to people. Some of you are in initiation conversations to realize that you don't want to be bothered. I myself have experienced that. It's kind of like, am I playing the game of life? What is going on? And there is this sense of illusion, right? And there's this sense of battleship where some of us are like, okay, am I going to sink in water energy, right? Where everything is going accordingly. So it's kind of like, again, what I said, everything is going accordingly, had to do with those who are operating a water signs energy. That, there's no issues, but if you are at a standstill and you're like, am I aligned? Yeah, everything is going accordingly. You have to release control. Make sure you breathe, and understand that it's a process. Okay. And there is this sense of, if people call you queen, there is a request to tell them to call you divine. I don't know what that means. For some of you, your village is about to open their doors to you. For some of you, you're getting ready to recognize your village. For some of you, your tribe is trying to locate you. Or you are trying to locate a loved one, someone. This regarding the sacred rose, your true beauty is getting ready, because that was the only visual that I could give you, whether it's masculine or feminine, because there's feminine energy that are in beast mode, and it's masculine energy that has to go through its phoenix, right? So that feminine energy can be broken from a curse or a spell. All right. Don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you and I.